Hi, boys and girls. So today for grammar, you are going to be watching this video, and I'm going to teach you about pronouns, two specifically, that are a lot of times not used correctly. So this is a huge mistake that a lot of people make when they write, and it's a pretty easy rule, but just a lot of people don't know this rule. So I'm going to tell you about it. We're going to talk about I and me. So, talking about yourself when you write. And these are called pronouns, they go in place of names. So, just like we've been talking about pronouns, these are the same thing. They're just when you talk about yourself, you use I or me. So, Mrs. Burnett is going to talk about myself today with my pronouns, I and me. And we're going to look at when you use I and when you use me. Okay, so first we're going to talk about I. I, when we use, you know what we need to do? I need to turn this around so you guys can see it without it being backwards. So I and me. Let me turn this around so you can see it. All right. I. We use I when it is the subject of a sentence. So when we make a sentence like, I called Tim, I am the subject. Okay, so I am the person that this is about. It is a subject and it does action. So if you use I, you have to be doing something. Okay, you, the person that's doing it, has to be doing something. So let's look at some examples using I as a subject and that it does action. Some examples are, let me get it a little bit closer. We're going to find the pronouns in here. This is the first example. I called Tim. So I is the pronoun. It is the subject. It is who this sentence is about. It uses I. What did I do? I did something. That's an action. I called Tim. Okay, so it followed all of our rules, right? We used I. It was the subject, so it was who this sentence was about, and I did something. Okay, let's look at the next one. I talked to Mrs. Likens. So we used I. It is the subject of the sentence. It's who this sentence is about. And what did I do? I talked. Okay, so that followed all of our rules. I was the subject and I called someone, and that was Mrs. Likens. The last example is going to use I not at the beginning of it. So let's see what it says. Mrs. Likens and I are friends. So it's about Mrs. Likens and I, both of us. And it's saying that we are something. So we are friends. All right, let's look at me now. So when we use I, we're using it as the subject. It's who the sentence is about, and they're doing something. Okay, all right, let's look at this one. When we use me in a sentence, me is the object. So me is not what it's about, it's what something's happening to. And the action is done to me. So I'm not the one doing the action anymore, okay, in this sentence. All right, let's look at some examples. Tim called me. Oh, so who is the subject in this sentence? The subject is Tim, right? And what did he do? He called me. My pronoun is right here. Boys and girls, I'm going to give you a little hint. When the pronoun is at the end, usually it's me. Okay, so this one is at the end because I am the object. I am who they did the action to, and the action was done to them. He called me. I didn't do anything. He did. Okay? Mrs. Likens talked to me. There's that pronoun. And I didn't do anything, right? Who did it? Mrs. Likens did it. Okay? So I had the action done to me, and I am the object that it was done to. Mrs. Likens is friends with me. There's that pronoun again, me. And she is friends with me. She is the one that is friends with me. Okay? So there are the two that we looked at today. Me and I. So when you use I, you are the subject of the sentence. You are what the sentence is about, and you do something. When you use me, you are the object of the sentence, and the action is done to you instead of you doing it to someone else. Okay, so that's just a little overview, and we're going to work on this for the week. So this is just a beginning idea of what each one is and how to use them. This is something that you guys are learning in first grade, and quite a few people don't know this. So you know something that a lot of people don't know. We're going to do some practice on it tomorrow. There's also a strategy we're going to use where you put in me and I and see which one makes sense and which rule it would be. Okay, so you are going to do that tomorrow in our Grammar Boost book with me. But I wanted to let you know when we use I and when we use me, and that those are pronouns. All right, I'm excited to get started on working on it tomorrow with you and you guys practicing what this looks like. Until then, you guys are all done with grammar for today. All right, thanks for listening.